Happy September 2020. A big shout out to all the teachers out there. All of you who are teaching remotely, in person, indoors, outdoors, universities, private and public schools, arts institutions, personal trainers, coaches. Thank you for everything that you do. And thank you for helping to build up the next generation of leaders and creators. So it's a new month, it's a new season, it's the start of a new school year. So this month, September, is going to be all about goals and habits. So every week this month, I'm going to share with you one thing that's been very helpful for me over the past few years to help me keep track in different areas of my life and things that I do. So there are many different ways to create systems for yourself. I'm a very process-oriented person and I really like exploring the how when it comes to self-improvement and practicing and learning a new language and other things. And I'm very interested in researching on this topic about process versus goals. And of course the two go hand in hand, and I'll talk more in detail about it in a different video. I would like to hear from you before I continue. Do you have a system that's been working for you? And what are some areas that you find yourself struggling with? I'm very curious because this is a topic that's been very interesting to me. So a few years ago, I found a planner finally that really works with me in terms of how I think and how I learn, at least the way I know about myself, that really worked for me. And I would like to introduce it to you. I've been purchasing for myself every year for the last 3 or 4 years, actually 3 years. I've been using the Plum Paper Planner. And I'm going to show you today the one I have for this year. So I really like this planner for many reasons. First, it's very customizable. You can go to their website at plumpaper.com. By the way, this is not a promotion or anything and no affiliates, so I'm not getting compensated for any of this. I'm just sharing with you this brand, which I really like. Their paper is very high quality, it's very strong, very durable. You can change the background to whatever you like. You can put quotes in the cover, you can do whatever. I got my name in the front here. So the main reason why I really like it is because it features a vertical layout. So I'm going to show you a few pages from here. I'll turn to October because my September pages are already scribbled everywhere. So I'll show you some of the empty pages. So you can see it's very nice because you can visualize the beginning of the day, the middle, and the end. So you can put your daily tasks in different areas, which will visually tell you where in the day you would like to do them. Now, of course, this is customizable, and I know a lot of people really like when there are also timestamps here, and that really helps a lot of people. I personally chose not to have those timestamps just because I wanted to have that flexibility. Now, of course, for certain things, with a more strict time schedule, such as when I have to teach certain students, when I have a concert, of course. Well, there are no concerts right now, it's September 2020. At least in New York City, there are no concerts yet. But when I would have a concert, that's when I would use my calendar on my phone. And I would use that calendar together with this. But this one, this planner, I use more for things that I'm working on, personal projects. And also I will include things like what times I'm teaching, and those will be blocks to take out of the day, and that'll kind of give me an idea of how much practice time I have available that day, for example, or what time of the day am I going to practice based on what's going on that day. So that's very important. Another thing I really love about this, and they do something that many planners don't. Okay, a lot of times I go to Walgreens, look through their planners or Staples, and their Saturday and Sundays are very small compared to Monday and Friday. So what I really like is that they treat Saturday and Sunday just like all the other days of the week. I never understood why in many planners the weekend is smaller. Last time I checked, all the days of the week have 24 hours. I prefer the weekly glance over monthly or daily, and this is why. So it does have a monthly page like this at the beginning, and the only time I really use the monthly is just to take a glance on it if I have something big coming up, like a big recital or an audition, just to see how many weeks out I am. That's really all I use it for. The other thing is that with Plum Paper, you can also choose to have a planner that goes day by day instead of week by week like this one. And what it would have is it would feature an entire day just for one page. See, for me, this was actually a little bit too detailed for that kind of planner, because when I schedule my daily tasks, a lot of times I base it on so if I say I'm scheduling this day, I will base a lot of it off of what I did the previous day. And that way there is a sense of continuity between one day and another, so it's not super random. There is a reason to everything. There is a sense of continuity from one day to another. Actually, I will be talking more about this next week, because next week I'm actually going to show you my practice journal and how I organize it and make decisions in a similar way. Also, continuing off what I just said, I prefer to schedule my to-do list the night before. And this is very, very important, because the last thing I want to do is wake up in the morning, sit down and be like, oh, what am I gonna do today? That already slows down my day and wastes time doing that. So I like to have an idea the night before, jot down a few things, and I try to keep it at a maximum of 8 things. I don't want to overwhelm myself. I try not to schedule too many things in one day. Of course, it depends on the day and what's happening in my life. But I wrote it down. Next day, all I have to do is take a look and go do it. Because what happens is, once you put yourself in action, right away, once I start that first thing, the action part of it, the action actually leads the energy and the tone for the rest of the day. So it kind of creates this, I don't want to say it's a chain reaction, but it really propels the day right away, instead of just sitting there and wondering what I'm going to do now. Also, I forgot to mention, at the very beginning of each month, there is a page that looks like this. And here you can write up to 3 goals that you have for this month. And other things like reminders, important birthdays. You can do more goals here if you want. It's up to you. But I like that they're encouraging just 3, because it makes it give you an idea of what is manageable. I don't try to set extreme goals for each month. I base my goals off 2 things. One is what I know about myself, and 2, well, based on everything going on, based on my schedule, what is realistically possible. And do I complete my goals 100% of the time? Well, no. That's for another video, of course. I mean, we're not perfect. But for the most part, this makes it easy to set manageable goals. You can just quickly jot down a few things. And I actually like to do just 1 goal for each different area that I'm focused on. So for example, for violin, let's say in September, I want to learn all the notes to the first movement of Beethoven's Violin Concerto minus the cadenza, and try to memorize let's say 80-90% of it. Knowing myself, I think that's doable. Or for another one, I would say practice Spanish on Duolingo for 20 out of the 30 days of the month. You know, something manageable like that. I'm just giving you examples, you know. Actually, I don't have that Duolingo on my list, but I just made that up. So you can add pages to this. You can add as many as you want. There's an empty sheet here. And at the end of the month, I really like this. And I didn't notice they had this option until this year, so I just added it this year. There is a reflection page, actually two-sided, where you reflect on how you did, what could be better, and what are some steps you can take to improve next time. It's nice that you can go back and forth between the very first page with the 3 main goals, but I rarely look at it. That's the interesting thing. I rarely look at that first page throughout the month. I might start looking back on it when I approach the end of the month and see how I'm doing. But the fact that I mostly keep the weekly pages open, a lot of times I just leave this thing open on my desk and I just wake up and I see it. It keeps me focused on the how and on the step-by-steps. And so I try to focus 90% of my efforts there instead of thinking about what I want to accomplish. I keep that a little bit on the backside. I'll talk more about that in a different video. So that's pretty much it. You can go to plumpaper.com and check out what they have to offer. They have many different options. They even have specialized planners for teachers, for parents. So you can try different things and have fun with it. It is a little bit pricey. I think this was about $40 or $35, I don't remember. But for me personally, it's actually worth the investment. I noticed that I became much more productive and I have a positive mindset a lot more consistently than before, I have to say. Anyway, this is all I have for you today. I'm interested in other processes besides this one in terms of planning and getting organized. So I would really be interested about what works for you. Do you have something unique maybe that really works for your system in productivity, in making progress in certain things, in just getting by from day to day, you know, things like that? If this video has been helpful for you and gave you some new ideas, share it with a friend or a colleague. Hit the like button. If you did not like this video, you can hit thumbs down, but be sure to hit it twice. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you next week.